It's your boy Luke here for our round 4 prize picks preview for the Scottish Open. Going to give you an idea of what to expect for playing conditions tomorrow, as well as 3 other props that I'm adding to my cards and going to be building my slips around. On Saturday, ended up being yet another 2-in-1 day, so a slightly profitable day on that 3-leg flex, but we're looking to hit 3 of 3, right? It's been a close miss 3 days in a row. Today we ran into the Matt Kuchar buzzsaw, but still slightly stacking up some profit, and by the end of the week, if we do it for the 4th round, which again, I'd won a 3 of 3, we'd at least doubled up our money over the weekend, which isn't the worst, right? Still adding on to that bankroll, but regardless, heading into Sunday here, really excited for the slate. The conditions look like they're going to be a little bit easier than what we've seen through the first 3 days, and I expect there to be a distinct advantage at play, particularly when it comes to the weather. So you'll definitely want to stick around for the course preview portion here, and then at the end, we'll talk about how I'm taking use of that advantage. Alrighty, so on the screen, I have data golf up, and we'll take a look at the scoring average between the few days. So if I take this out, don't look at it by wave, the scoring average today was plus 0.63, which was significantly easier than what we saw for Thursday and Friday. So first off, on Friday, it played 2.5 strokes over par. On Thursday, it played to 1.99 shots over par. So almost a stroke and a half, almost 2 strokes difference between the 2 days. And a majority of this was not due to the wind, it was due to the quality of player. A lot of the guys that ejected over the first 2 days did so in grand fashion. I think that's the best way to put it. Went out there, shot plus 10 to plus 15 for some of them. You had guys like Mito Pereira that shot 81 there on Friday. Certainly outliers like that have a huge impact on the scoring. Today with players a little bit more motivated, all of them of course playing for a paycheck, have made it there for Saturday and Sunday. Played with a little bit more conviction, perhaps just a little bit more attentive, and weren't out there being nearly as careless or as aggressive as some of the players there on Friday especially. So as a result, the scoring average went down, and the winds also were a little bit lower. So if we take a look at Saturday, you can see it was in the 13 to 14 mile an hour range for much of the day, whereas on Friday, which you can't see up there, it's a little bit too far back, it was closer to the 20 to 25 mile an hour range, if not 30s there a little bit on Friday. So for Sunday, where we see similar conditions, but more importantly, a little bit of a backwards type of split. You know, typically the winds in the afternoon are generally going to be higher than in the morning, and that's something you see everywhere. It's not like it's local to one place like in here in Scotland or down in South Florida. Around the world throughout the day, the winds gain in strength because of more sunlight. There's more thermal energy in the air, and if you're not educated on how the wind works, a lot of it's due to thermal energy moving. You take hot air and it moves to cold places, right? That's how heat works. And a lot of that causes a wind. So that's why you get stronger winds in the afternoon, because the heat is there, you have more thermal energy. Either way, this isn't a physics channel, but more importantly, in the morning, you see the stronger winds. And for this, you can see it's not a huge difference, right? It's like 18 miles an hour of sustained winds versus 15 in the afternoon, 21 miles an hour of wind gusts throughout the entire day. If we check another wind source here, and I've checked multiple to this point, it's a much larger difference. So first off, at 9 a.m. here on AccuWeather, you can see like 13 mile an hour winds in the morning, 21 mile an hour wind gusts, very consistent with the other forecast. Around 11 a.m., also consistent, right? Like 12 mile an hour winds, 22 mile an hour wind gusts. Maybe a few miles an hour off on the sustained winds, but the wind gusts pretty much right in line. Let's take a look at the afternoon though. Here around 2 p.m., 7 mile an hour wind gusts, 18 mile an hour wind gusts. Here at 4 p.m. though, 10 mile an hour wind gusts, 4 miles an hour of sustained winds. So between 2 and 4 p.m., it absolutely drops off like a cliff. And if you look at weather.com, you look at Willy Wender, which is another site for European wind information, all of them have it dropping off like a rock right around 2 to 3 p.m. And ironically, that's when a lot of the leaders will be teeing off, because of the American crowd. They're teeing off a lot later into the day to try and give people an opportunity to watch the event. And if that's going to be the same case, which, based on the tee times that we've gone, it looks like they're teeing off right around 9 a.m. local time again. This is going to be completely advantageous for the guys up top. I mean, you're looking at probably a stroke difference between the two quote-unquote waves. And even more so, the guys up top are the guys playing the best golf. The guys that are in contention, we're coming in with solid form, that are hitting the ball the best through the first 3 rounds, and the guys we'd expect to play the best golf. So when we take a look at the prize picks board here, I'm heavily favoring the guys up top, and typically I'm on the other side of that spectrum. I'm usually trying to fade the guys that are in contention because they're in the quote-unquote harder wave with usually higher wins and also greens that are a little bit firmer and faster. But for here on Sunday, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be in the opposite direction. So when we hop into the board here, you'll see that's reflected with the picks. So we'll start with the birdie or better board here, where I'm taking the over on Matt Fitzpatrick. 3.5 birdies or better is my play of the day. I absolutely love it. Somebody who's in contention, of course, won the U.S. Open. Last week at the JP McManus Pro-Am, did not play his best, but through the first 3 rounds is in the top 10, in a position to move up the leaderboard, and is going to have a ton of motivation here. So for Matt Fitzpatrick, also somebody who's very used to these link style conditions, I have him projected for well over 4 birdies. In fact, closer to 4.3 on the slate, so making it one of the largest edges that I have here. But outside of Matt Fitzpatrick, there's a lot of overs I'd be taking on guys towards the top of the leaderboard. So of course, guys, I'm not going to give you every pick I'm getting to here because those are posted on my Patreon page. So if you are looking for all 15 plays that I'm taking here for the 4th round, make sure to go out and check it out, I should say. It's down in the description. There is a link to that. And again, I have all of them posted there. But Matt Fitzpatrick, my favorite birdie or better prop. If I had to go to my next prop, it's over here with strokes. So for strokes, I'm also taking a look at the guys at the top of the board. The scoring average today was plus 0.6. For elite tier players, probably playing just slightly under par. But for the guys that'll be in the advantageous wave, I'm projecting them to shoot close to maybe 1 under par. So for somebody like Xander, or also down here for somebody like Cameron Tringale, who will be teeing off in the last 5 to 6 groups of the day, they're going to be in a great position to score, particularly Xander, who's winning the golf tournament, of course, is coming in off 2 straight wins on starts, could make it a 3rd straight win between the McManus, also Travelers, and of course this week, and then Tringale, who shot 9 under par on day 1. And though he has struggled over the last 2 days, I expect this to be a solid bounce back spot. He's gone the jitters out. He's not in the lead anymore. The main reason that he's struggled over the last 2 days, at least per my judgment, is because he was in the lead. He's somebody who's notorious for not winning on the PGA Tour. In fact, has the most winnings all time of any player to not record a win. So no crap, he struggled with the lead, right? That's why we faded him today, and it ended up paying off for strokes. But here on Sunday, now that that's out of the way, I'm all in on him. There's a reason why he shot 9 under par day 1. It's a great golf course for him. And in fact, he's striking the ball pretty damn well here. The issue today was not with the ball striking, but actually with the flat stick, which is going to be the most volatile stat round to round. So I'm taking the under on Tringale, 70.5 strokes, and also the under on Xander at 69 strokes. Obviously for Xander, he's more of an elite tier guy, so I'm taking them there at 69. But even for some of the guys lower on the board that are teeing off towards the afternoon wave, they're going to be guys that I'm taking the under for strokes. So that gives you an idea of perhaps some of the other picks that I'm taking. But like I said before, guys, make sure to check out the Patreon to get all the picks that I'm taking. There's at least 6 to 7 guys here for strokes that I see myself getting here on Sunday. All right, boys, that's all I've got for the round 4 picks. Before you hop on out of here, comment down below what your favorite prop is, and also make sure you go out and smash that like button. I appreciate all the support, you guys stopping by, showing all the love as per usual, and until next time, best of luck with all of your slips. We will be doing content for next week's tournament, which is a major championship, the Open at St. Andrews, 150th edition as well. So really looking forward to that. And also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you go out and do that. You don't want to miss any of that content when it drops. I also do course breakdowns, which we'll do one for St. Andrews, the old course coming this week, and going to cover DFS. We do the fantasy side for every single event. So if that rings your bell, something that you guys want to see going forward, make sure to go out and subscribe. But again, guys, I really appreciate the support. I'll catch you guys next time.